Alrighty, thank you once again, one and all, for tuning in to our Peace Talks. This is episode 13. Yeah, I'm really glad to have this special guest on. For those of you who are just tuning in for the first time, my Peace Talks are my opportunity to really let people know that this is a community. This is not just like one person on a platform spewing opinions. Like, we really are out here, and with every episode, I get to prove and show that to you. So, really want to give it up right now for Robbie Ka. How you doing, brother?
Hey, appreciate it. Thank you. I'm doing well. How you doing?
I'm doing pretty well myself, man. We're finishing up
That's
Aries
good.
season, so a lot of the energies getting ready to ground and really show us what our value is. Yeah, for those who may not be so familiar with your channel, what kind of stuff do you talk about, and yeah, what can someone expect as a new subscriber to your channel?
Oh, well, that's a good question. Thank you for having me on. First off, I want to say thank you and thank you everybody for watching. You know what I'm saying, and all the support. But what I would say, what a person would get if they was to subscribe to my channel would be positive information that they can apply to their life to make immediate change. If not immediate change, change that can be almost immediate. Not biased to anything like a color of a person, a race, religion, anything like that. Because we're all humans. I mean, if you break us down to our smallest level, we're all vibration. So I mean, there's no need to have a hate toward anybody for the way that they look. So I just want to give helpful information to the world and share my journey. I want to share my journey. I mean, it's not like I'm coming in front of YouTube saying that this is who I am, I'm this, and I only stay by that. I go with the flow. Even right now, I have a parkour YouTube channel that I'm working on, and I'll be getting that rolling pretty soon because I enjoy doing parkour, free running. So yeah, it's just a lot of good positive things that people can apply immediately or very soon to their life to help them evolve and grow.
That's great. I've seen some of your videos too. I think someone I watched was about wearing hats, and well, not wearing
Oh,
hats, but shielding yourself. You have this
yeah,
really great delivery. You
thank you.
kind of you're not really preachy with your spirituality. It's so
Nah,
ingrained in your lifestyle that the
right,
advice you give is so real. It's like the way you were talking about how the chemtrails could affect your crown chakra really
right.
opened my mind up to, like, really protecting this stuff. So what are I see another video you talk about the difference between spirit and soul. Do you mind going into that a little bit right now, and also
Oh no,
what kind of
I'm actually
spiritual
happy.
themes do you like to talk about?
I'll be happy to go into that.
Show.
I'll be happy to go into that. Yeah, that was something I was meditating on, man, and I was excited to bring it to people. I was very peaceful. I was sitting by that tree, and actually, the trees helped me bring that message too, because the tree, like as I was sitting by the tree was reassuring me that it's not just a tree; it's a great spirit. And I was like, well, everything is spirit. So I was meditating and asking, what is the difference? Because I know people could say they sell souls and things like this. So I say, how could one have a spirit but not have a soul? And that led me to the conclusion that the mind is spirit, because the mind is the unseen, and the spirit is also the unseen, that omnipotent, the omnipresent, the breath. This all deals with this. It's all spirit. It's all just different words that we could use for spirit. And the soul has to be a product of spirit, because if a person can have a soul but they can't have a spirit, then that means that soul is a product of spirit, just based on mathematics alone. So I personally think soul is condensed spirit, and it's very valuable. And I think that's why they say, people sell souls, because the soul don't die. It can get trapped or possessed by another, like trapped by another, as they say, soul to soul or anything like that. So but yeah, I try to keep things really simple, y'all. I really do, because I feel like in this day and age, I mean, I'm only 21 years old, but um, I have been on a spiritual journey for a very long time, most of my life, all of my life, really, if you want to be technical. But really, for me personally, really hitting it hard since I was about 12 or 14, somewhere between 12 and 14. I made a good decision to just be myself. That's what really changed it all for me. It was to be myself, because my parents taught me how to be myself through teaching me who I am, telling me the meaning of my name. Like I said, my name is, I didn't say this in the beginning, but my name is Akbar Shabazz Bey. So, you know, telling me the different meanings of my name and just getting me to know different things about myself, you know, even as far as even small things like what foods I like, what foods I didn't like. And like I said, I grew up Muslim. So, reading ingredients on different packages, like, you know, I'm in high school. I've been telling people to stop eating meat, and I've been telling people to stop eating pork, especially because I was vegetarian since I was 14. You know, so a lot of these things that people have that it seems to be trending right now, I kind of have experienced it before, so I'm not quick to just hop in it as a trend. But I know what's happening is, well, it'll be kind of like they say, you fake it till you make it, because it is a lot of people that's faking it right now. But that's going to be good too, because as so many people fake it, you know, they're going to stop faking and say, this is what I really want to do, and I really want to grow myself. So, but yeah, I mean, I've been vegetarian since I was 14. I've always taken health very seriously. I've always taken fitness very seriously. And I want everybody, because and the reason I say those two things, health and fitness, is because I know, for one, and I want to say this publicly to everybody, that you are not this body. We are more than this body. You know, we are soul inside this body. This body has its own language. This body has its own desires. This body has its own, really its own thoughts. This body has its own, I mean, it's just its own person in a way. You know, it has a mind of its own, as they say. So with that being said, I want everybody to know that you got to take care of this body. You got to take care of this body. No matter what damage you've done to your body. I know a lot of people speak about karma, and karma is very real, but you also have to remember that you got a physical, like you got a karma, a tie with your body. Your body has karma, you know, that you've done to it. So, for example, like people who've lived a life of hard life, sex, drugs, rock and roll all the time, going hard, never stopping. You know, once they get 40, 50, 60, they start having problems because they didn't take care of that body. So that karma is coming back on them. You know, it's coming back on them. But yeah, I just encourage everybody to look at things on a really cellular level and from your view, because I was watching some of your videos too, and I also noticed about like the different, like right now I believe we're still in Taurus. Maybe we're in Aries right now. I'm not sure. Are we in Taurus?
It's the last day. It's the last day of Aries. We're right about to be in Taurus, like any second now. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you know, so I know that has a lot to do with the way people are feeling. I've been paying more attention to the greater influences on us that people don't really look at, because I mean, most people think about government or, you know, even their supervisors at their jobs or something like that to be influence on them. But it's like, if you start dealing with the celestial bodies and just your inner power, you'll be much greater than those things, you know. So yeah, I'm happy to be on the show though. As you can see, I have a lot to say. I like to talk. So yeah, because I came on
I'm glad you have a lot to say.
Yeah,
As
February
a
20th.
Gemini, I'm always glad when people have a lot to say.
Yeah.
When's your birthday?
February 28th, 1994.
February 28th, 1994.
94.
That sounds a lot Pisces. That's definitely Pisces. Interesting.
Yeah.
Very interesting. Yeah. Now, you said some very choice things that made my heart burn right now, because it's just so amazingly detailed. This Uranus and Aries square Pluto and Capricorn transit. So when you hear about the Uranus-Pluto square, you have to understand we are in one of the most revolutionary times right now. Established order, which is represented by Capricorn. Established order. We're talking about order that is not wrong. Yeah, we have government corruption, but we have stuff that has traditionally stood the test of time that is decaying in the face of radical identification. A lot of things you said about yourself, your parents helped you know who you are. They helped you know your name. You're gaining inner power with this power of Uranus, and you're being a revolutionary, guiding others to live this radical lifestyle. You said something in a video that really touched me, man, and it helped me know you were keyed in. You were like, we're the youth. We're the strongest people out right now. We're the ones that are actually shaping stuff. That's why everything is bringing the crap to us, because we shape what's going on. And if they want us to do stuff the old way that's crumbling right now, and if no one else but us says anything, we're going to maintain a matrix that's dying. So could you share more what you feel about that? Like for young people viewing this right now, what is your message for them who have to be fearlessly relentless, say goodbye to any nest eggs and false security so that they can be themselves? Like, it's easier for us because we kind of have some background, but some people are new to this totally, and they're faking it till they'll make it, like they say. So what kind of advice do you have?
Well, first off, I'll tell you, just don't fake it. You know what I'm saying? Just don't fake it, and don't even try to make it. You know, people, they fake it. They will fake it till they make it, but just from the beginning, don't come truthful from the beginning, and you will have way less problems. Secondly, be yourself, and you got to know what you like. Know what you like and surround yourself around those people, because growing up, I always surrounded myself around those people because that's what my parents taught me. And I watched it. Not only did they teach me this, I watched it, and I have, you know, I've seen it happen where a person would hang around people that they're not like, and they would turn into that type of person. And I'll explain that later on. Well, I explain it right now. It's because we like over 75% water, which water is programmable. We're crystals as well. So I mean, we're highly influenceable. We're highly influenceable, just as humans. You know, because humans been being manipulated since time began. I guess, you know, we've been manipulated for a while. But to bring it back to what you were saying about the youth, I would tell you, be yourself, create confidence within your life, and open opportunity. You, as young people, we have a special type of place in the world because we're really a bridge between dimensions, so to speak. We're really a bridge between the dimension of what we call the old people, the elders, and the babies. You know, so we have a special type of bridge and a special type of responsibility. Really, in a way, we're the gatekeepers. This is why the elders always pass the keys on to the younger generation. They pass it on and they pass it on. You know, we're the gatekeepers right now, and we really do have a lot of the power to really mold and shape this world like we supposed to, and just create a better world. I mean, because if we could focus on the basics, like, well, that's what I do with my channel. I focus on the basics that anybody can apply, anybody can use. If I tell you that the sink water is toxic and drink a cleaner water, that applies to everybody. You know, it's just, now is a time where we should be thinking on a deeper level, to the point where we're seeing like dolphins, or we're seeing people's body, you know, their energy body and things like this, where we don't really see color. Because at that point, a dolphin won't see a white person or a black person or a Chinese person. They'll just see a human. You know what I'm saying? They'll just see a human. And so and that's a program that we've been taught. That's a program we've been taught. And it's for us to break. I know it's there in everybody's face all the time, but you know, you got to choose to focus on what is going to grow you, make you evolve, and not what's going to make you angry. Because when you become angry and fearful, it blocks many of the productions of powerful and mystical elements within our brain that is secreted. You know, so you don't want to be being fearful or very angry.
I have another question for you, man. You talk a lot about the number 13 in the episode 13, and I'd like to know what does that number mean to you, and what's its significance?
Okay, yeah, that's cool, no problem. Well, the number 13 is really, because I mean, everybody may be watching this, may be aware of my video and things like that I made, and I say 13 a lot. I use a vibration of 13 because it is an amplification. You know, it is death and rebirth. It is yin and yang. So I mean, just like any number, it has power, but I personally don't like feeling as if I'm trapped into something. So I don't overuse it, because I feel like it can be overused. Just like any energy, it can be overused, you know. just like the rotation of the stars. I mean, we're not gonna stay in Taurus forever. You know what I'm saying? So just so Taurus don't get used up,
Very
we
true.
continue to make cycles to other numbers or to other houses and signs. So just as the 13
Yeah.
is a powerful number, um, it's been used. I mean, just it's a highly magical number as well. You know, so we got to be careful when we're using it too, because it is a very strong number. You know, that's why I don't really put it on much else except for things that I want to invoke positivity with. You know, like I say, I'll invoke love, and I'll say 13 love or anything like that. And the significance it has to me, 13 was popping in my life before I came across 13 Sons videos, and that is that came a lot from my sister. She had a baby, and a lot of the numbers that was popping up with the child was 13. I mean, it was that number that was recurring in our lives. Just like in 2012, a lot of us were seeing 1111. We were seeing 2222. You know, we were seeing different angel numbers, as they call them, which are real. The angels are the numbers, and the number 13 would happen to be the angel of death and rebirth. You know, so but all numbers go through 1 through 9, because 13 is just a 4. I mean 0 through 9, so 13 is just 4. So you know, try not to people, just to anybody out there. I live very simple. I'm free. I think free. I do a lot of yoga, tai chi, qigong, internal martial arts, because these things, when you do these type of things, it helps you to um, think. It's a physical thing you're doing, but it has a mental and spiritual effect on you. You know, which allows you to be free. Never be trapped. Never be trapped. If I just told you that you're a soul and that we're in this body, right? We're not this body. We're a soul, and that if we're trapped, then you can't go nowhere, because soul is immortal. It continues to live on. It's immortal, but it can't be trapped, and that's not what you want. You don't want to be trapped.
I have another question for you, man.
Okay.
Especially as a Pisces. Now, I've noticed that Virgos who have channels, they're not going to have to worry much about this because they do the extra research. But for people like you and I who just share our ideas and share our personal truth, what do you have? Because over this year in 2016, a thing about being in the age of Aquarius is there's also the rise of this scientific community of elitist snobs who feel that the stuff we say are founded on nothing really,
Right, right.
truthful. They're stuck in such a higher level elitism mind that they forget the whole spiritual side of it,
Yeah.
which they don't even see as a concept. What do you have? How are you going to because there's gonna come a time where they come at us and they try and belittle the stuff we're doing as if it's not true.
Mm-hmm.
But how are you preparing for that? What kind of message do you have? Because it's a clear attack. It's not like the stuff you're saying is nonsense, and it is helping people. So what would you say to that?
It's funny. I almost wanted to laugh when you were saying that, because I actually have a video that I could talk about that fits this what we're saying, and that is the video I have, "Unlock Your DNA with Aaron." A lot of people tell me, man, I go through there and I delete comments. I go and delete them because people be talking mad trash, and I'm just like, I don't want to see, so I delete it, man. And they'll come back and do it
Yeah,
again
it's too
sometimes.
much
But
negativity.
yeah, you know, I
Yeah,
don't want too much negativity on it. And but you know, it's
yeah.
actually people on there who are telling me, thank you, this has helped me. I believe one person even was bit by a black widow or some other poison spider, and it helped them. You know, so when people want to come at somebody and say that's not you know, that's not proof of this or that's not proof of that, which it is proof out there for that, you know, for you in therapy. But I just say be patient, and we must know who we are and what we're dealing with as far as what we're talking about, because I mean a lot of what we talk about, it won't be proven to the average person, because everybody has a different definition of proof. You know, this is one of everybody has a different definition of many things, and proof is one of them.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because if I could tell you, you know, you all met stubborn people like that. If you tell them, hey man, I put this cream on my skin and it healed my skin from that scar, and they say, man, that stuff don't work, or it's just always going to be somebody like that. You know, so
Yeah,
I
hell
just say
yeah.
we gotta be patient, man, and just keep going, because I mean, even if it takes freaking 3,000 years and for the truth to come out, it'll come out. It'll come out. So no worries. Hakuna Matata.
Peace, love, happiness. I dig it. I dig it. I dig it. And
Yeah.
it's a great message you shared. Like, just be patient, keep going, especially for you out here watching who have such great ideas, but you're surrounded by people who just snuff them because they don't want to see your truth that exposes their darkness. Just keep going. You have no idea who these right people who needed to see or hear it will hear. You know, it's we get caught up in the ego and vanity of it. We feel like we're supposed to be accepted by these people, and no, your mission is just to share your truth. You know, it's just to be who you are.
I agree. That's well said, because that just made me think of another thing that I wanted to tell any of the youth watching, or anybody in general, man. Don't be desperate. Don't be desperate. Don't be fearful, because I feel like a lot of manipulation takes place because people are desperate and they're fearful. And they're fearful because they're confused. They don't know what they're gonna do. They're desperate. Thank you, bud. They're desperate because they're confused. You know what I'm saying? So it's all just a lot of fear that's in there. It needs to be taken out, but never feel desperate for anything, y'all. If one is to truly have faith in their creator, whoever that is for them, no need to worry about anything. No need to feel desperate time. If you have no food, no need to worry. You know what I'm saying? Maybe you will be so fortunate to hit another level where you could eat the vibrations around you. You know, you don't know. Maybe something was taken away so that you can have an upgrade. You know, I'm just saying we should always have faith, and we should always be confident within ourselves that we can make it happen, that we can get through it. Because if we can get through it, it will happen. You know, the goodness will come if you can make it through the storm. You know, if you make it through the storm, you will see sunlight. You know, so.
True that, my brother. True that. So, all right, let's play a game like I usually do, the 3 questions game. We're gonna take turns asking each other questions, and this time you go first. You'll ask me one, and I'll ask you one, and then we'll do it 2 more times.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
What is it that made you want to open your YouTube channel to the public to serve as a medium between the stars and people, the celestial bodies and people? By that I mean in astrology.
Well, I've always had a passion for sharing what I believe, even before, because I grew up as a Christian. I actually, before this, was that Christian who was literally telling people, you're going to go to hell for following astrology. You're going to go to hell for not believing in Jesus. Yeah, so that passion just got transferred to here once I saw the light, and I was like, oh, hell no. Now I have to really let people know what's up, because it just brought me more in. I like more what you said, too, about don't try hard or don't be too desperate. Like, it just felt so natural, like,
yeah, I mean, that's
seeing other people share it.
That's going with the flow, man.
Well, we keep going.
Excuse me, go ahead.
No, you're right. It's exactly going with the flow. I totally agree. That's just what I did. I went with the flow, and I didn't even expect it to grow. Like, this was just something like the same way it is now. And this doesn't really, it doesn't really feel like. Wait, what were you saying?
No, I'm saying that's funny, bro, because
that last part.
That's how it happened with me. Like, I was like, all right, I'm gonna open the YouTube, and I just did it. I mean, I had other videos up, you know what I'm saying? I took them all down, started my channel over, basically. I mean, but it was just like conversations I have around the house, you know, and different things that I just meditate on, and I make videos about them. I mean, like, I got videos. I'm in the tree, man. You know, I'm out. You know, I'm walking. I'm at the park. So I mean, it's just it's real, you know. That's when I wanted, when I made my YouTube. I was like, I want it to be real, you know. But I'm out moving and I'm real.
That's another thing. That's another thing that I wanted to mention before. I love. It's just like Dolo. Like, you guys have a very raw delivery. Like, you don't care. You don't censor your words. Like, you're just gonna be real. You're gonna say what it is. You don't take that extra precaution to censor yourself, or like
Yeah.
make yourself appear a certain way. Like, you know, you're angry, you express that too. I appreciate it, you know. It's some real shit.
Hey, it's all good. I mean, yeah, I think that has a lot to do with and I still got the questions. I still got 2 more questions for you. But I think that has a lot to do with me growing up. Man, my dad was a hustle man, salesman. You know what I'm saying? He could sell you anything, man. He could sell salt to a slug, man. He was good. He was good, you know. And he always made things like with his hands. He was really good with his hands. So like we made name belts and things like that. So I mean, just different things. But I feel like that has to and I see that about Dolo too. You know, it's a certain like business mind that comes with the way a person delivers certain things, the way a person speaks. Because at this point, I mean, I've been selling things since I was 7, you know, just different things, and it's in me now. Like I speak like I'm selling, you know, and it just happens to, I mean, I flow with it. That's just how I flow, you know. So yeah, but you're right, man. I appreciate myself expressing that I was angry, because I wanted the people to know that I was angry about what was going on. And because, like I said, in the other video, excuse me, the following video, I wasn't able to speak on everything I wanted to speak on. My goal was not to go in there and slander this man, or, you know what I'm saying, to just hurt his feelings or anything like that. You know, it was really I really just had questions. Even if you was to take out all the cuss words and all the times I said nigga and everything like that and all that stuff, right? That's what I feel like really made people feel sensitive. But
but see, that's what I love the most about it, is that you were candid with that. You were because a lot of people will expect you to censor that and be like, well, you have to be sensitive to the viewer's ears. But how is that being real? You know what I mean? That's not being real.
You know, I'm not apologetic for it, man. I mean, I'm unapologetically real. You know, I'm from Chicago. I grew up on the west side of Chicago. We moved down here to Texas, which is funny because Alyssa was the same way, right? She's in Chicago and she moved to Texas. A lot of people come from Chicago to Texas to Chicago. But you know, I grew up, man. It's a certain type of way I carry myself. It's a certain type of way I'll speak in a certain mind state, a certain brainwave state. Now, I mean, I didn't even really go that hard like people really thought. You know, it was shocking to people. You know, it was shocking to people. But I mean, shortly afterwards, you know, all that different stuff started coming out. So I was just like, wow, you know, it's funny how the universe just makes these events just happen, you know, in order to prove a truth. So, I mean, and like I said, I made the video, I kept going, I made different videos. I didn't even talk about it in my recent videos because it's not the focus. I need to get people to begin to grow themselves, you know, and just be the best that they can be. Because I feel like it was a lot of distractions with all of that stuff.
So my question to you to continue the game is, what do you think people should watch out for? Because I feel this is a very important period. A lot of people's wishes are going to come true, and a lot of people are going to manifest the lives they want. So what should they look out for as far as shielding themselves from? Because this is going to invite a lot of vampiric substances, but more programs to snuff people's positivity. How can people combat against this?
That's a very good question. That is a very good question. Well, first, like I like to bring it back to me. I would speak. If it, you know, me personally, what I'm watching out for is when the rhythm is thrown off extremely. When the rhythm is thrown off extremely. Now, I'm not saying that I want to stay comfortable with a certain rhythm, but when the flow is just, say if like a big boulder was to just drop in front of my flow, then I would know that something is wrong, and that is what I want to stay away from. You know, that is what I want to stay away from. But in the meantime, what you do want to look for is the signs. You want to look from the signs from the spirit animals, from the birds, the butterflies, the squirrels, you know, just different animals, insects, you know, try to expand and learn as much as you can, because these are all messages, y'all. These are all messages. I mean, I'm talking, this is real. Like, I can give you a story, for example. When I went to a lake, man, it was a beautiful day. And breeze came through real strong. kind of heavy breeze, dense breeze came through. And then a bunch of birds came by, a bunch of black crows flew by in a flock. I don't know how many it was. I wish I did know how many it was, but on that same day, a man had drowned in the lake. You know what I'm saying? So these was all just messages, and I knew something was about to happen. I was like, something don't feel right. I was like, the birds just flew. That strong dense breeze came out of nowhere. So those are all signs that we need to like be aware of. But I mean, looking out as far as looking out for things, that can be difficult to tell people, you know. But I can tell you what will keep you protected, so to speak, is just stay in the rhythm of your breath, because the breath, and they say is the now. You know, your breath is the now. Your breath is not the next breath, or it's not the breath that just passed. You're always breathing right now. You know, so even for new people who meditating, you just now learn how to meditate. Focus on the breath. You know, focus on the great spirit. That is the great spirit, the great mother spirit. It nurtures all things. You know, even the people who are so-called evil and the people who are good. The breath don't lie. The breath don't. The breath doesn't discriminate. You know, so yeah, I say do that. Look out for the animals, the spirit animals, the messages of nature, and don't be greedy and don't grow too fast. Don't grow too fast. Stay patient, man. That's the word of the year. Patience is the word of the year, man.
Yeah, it really is, man. Like, for real. Oh my gosh. So it's your turn.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Cool. All right. So you are Virgo, right?
Gemini.
Gemini. Okay. Okay. Gemini. All right. Cool. So I got questions about like the different how. I mean, it's just for me personally, for my own actual knowledge, you know, because my sister,
That's cool.
she studies astrology a lot more than I study astrology. I really like working with crystals a lot more than I like working with doing, you know, astrology and astronomy, things like that. So my question would be, what is it that got you into astrology? Because you said you was not deep into the Christianity, but you was in a Christian thought process, and then you became an astrologer. But what is it that made you want to be an astrologer, and not only that, but to like live your life according to the stars? Because that's a whole different thing. You know, technically an astrologer it can be a job title or it can be just a title. But to live your life according to the stars, that is a whole field. So what is it that made you want to do that?
That's a really beautiful question. I really love that. And I really love that you touched on that you're not into astrology. What I've noticed, a lot of Pisces, because y'all are so in tune with the reality of existence, y'all don't really even need astrology. You start to really, that's why I really like your channel. Like, you know how to make, I need this astrology as a tool to intellectually work it out from my mind. This is really mental for me. The sign of astrology that maps out the cosmos is Aquarius, and my midheaven, which is the career point, and my destiny point are in Aquarius. So it's literally my destiny to do this. But as far as a personal reason, as to why I really incorporate this, is because this is how I communicate with the divine. This is a tool of the cosmos that I use so that I understand how the divine speaks to me, so that when I know it's Taurus season, I know how to interact with these cosmic energies within people. This tool is the reason why I've stuck with it, is because I'm continually learning. Even when I was still in college, I was able to apply everything that I was learning in college to astrology, which if you think about Aquarius energy is higher education, higher level energy. So it's funny too, because I still only see this as a tool. Like, I still feel like this is just another stepping stone up to my next path. But as far as why I will live astrologically out, it's one of the only things in its life. Because I grew up, like I said, praying to Jesus, praying for truth, praying for realness. And all I got met with was, you know, going to see the fakeness in these churches, going to see, you know, people getting pimped out in congregations. And it's not like Jesus didn't speak to me. But I got led to something that is showing me not only tangible results, showing me truthful things, but actually helping me help people in real ways. It's just been the journey so far. Yeah, it's really encouraged me to continue on with that. So other than that, my question for you is what kind of crystals, what is your favorite type of crystal? Your three most favorite crystals, and why are they your top three favorite? And then on top of that, what crystals do you recommend for people who are just getting into the crystal game?
Oh man, those are good questions. You know, it's funny. I just finished writing a blog because I do a radio show and everything. It's High Vibrations Radio with Seed Dropper Nation. And I just released a blog on the website High Vibrations Radio called 3 Reasons You Need Crystals. So that's really interesting that you just asked me that question. Nice. And you said 3 crystals. So yeah, I'll be glad. I got them right here, matter of fact.
Yeah.
Real quick. So I can show people. Well, I got plenty right here. These not all of them, but always been collecting crystals, man. Even before I really got deep into crystals, I always had a real passion for crystals. I mean, just recently, within the last 2 weeks, I was walking home from Walmart. I got an eye exam, and I found these selenite, raw selenite pieces right here. You know, and I shared some of them on my other on the video, but these are raw selenite pieces that I found. Selenite,
nice.
By far is one of the most powerful crystals I've ever worked with. I mean, I'm sensitive to crystals and stones and just vibrations in general, but selenite is by far one of the strongest vibrations I felt from a crystal. But just for people getting into it, I would recommend black kyanite. This right here, I would highly recommend black kyanite. Black kyanite grows in a natural wine. I mean, you use it to help clean your aura, you know what I'm saying, get rid of negativity. And since it grows like this, I believe they call it acular, or anyway, it's a linear growth, you know, so it naturally grows like this. And any crystals that grow like this, they align your chakras because these are alive, y'all. These are living beings. You know, this is what I want people to know about crystals. These are living beings. They eat, you know what I'm saying? They have lives. They eat.
What do you feed them with?
What do we feed them with? We feed the crystals with light, sound, and just different vibrations. They'll eat any vibration. So if you was to sit your crystal in the sunlight, moonlight, you could charge it, bury it in the dirt, charge it. You know, you're feeding it. The charge is the feed. So, and they put out pure energy, man. I mean, we couldn't even be having this laptop, this computer, any of these technology without crystals, you know, so that's just something to think about. But I would recommend black kyanite. I would recommend selenite, and I would recommend citrine quartz, because I wouldn't really recommend clear quartz from the beginning. I think people should get used to citrine quartz first. I recommend selenite because of the power it has, and it's programmable just like clear quartz. You know, so I would recommend those 3 because they work really good together, and that should just. And the thing about citrine, you don't have to charge citrine, and it'll cleanse your other stones. Black kyanite will cleanse your other stones. Selenite will make your other stones stronger. You know, so it's
wow,
man, I used to study crystals. I found plenty of crystals just out raw. My family my family even called me they called me the crystal radar because I could just be walking and then I found a whole bunch of like real crystals, you know? And I just love to give them away, man. Like I find them so I can give them away because I know that I'm giving somebody a spiritual teacher right there, a really good spiritual teacher, you know, straight from the earth, you know. That's as close to nature as it
True that.
Yeah. And what was the other question? The 3 crystals and what else?
Your personal 3 favorite crystals and the 3 crystals
my personal 3 favorite, man. I like clear quartz. Clear quartz is the shit. I mean, you could program it, man. Like you can even sit this crystal around another crystal and tell this and program it to act like the other crystal, and it'll do it. It's amazing.
Can you actually make a video on how to program crystals? Or
Yeah,
do
I
you
was.
have one out?
Yeah, I will. I'll make a video about it, and
Oh yeah,
I'll
that's
write a
great.
blog about it as well. I'll write a blog
Great,
about it
great.
as well. Yeah, and then I like the black kyanite. The black kyanite is the truth, man. It really is. And rose quartz, I love rose quartz, man. It's just that
It's
gentleness
so
that you need.
awesome.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I wish I had them all to show y'all, man, but I don't. But rose quartz is real gentle, man. Really, really gentle. Whenever you need that like soft hug, so to speak, I can communicate with the rose quartz spirit, and it'll help me get that what I need, because the only reason crystals work is through crystal resonance. Since we're a crystal, we're water, it pulls up that vibration that we need. So if I was to, like I was talking about the rose quartz, if I needed more love energy in my life, for to make a certain chakra healthier, or just make me healthier, I will work with this, and it'll pull that vibration up to the surface for me to use it. So it's not like crystals don't work. I don't get when people say things like that. But we're crystals and we're working. So, and this technology is working. So it's crazy.
True that. True that.
Yeah. So the third question I have for you: how old are you?
24. I turned 25 in June.
Oh yeah, that's what's up. That's what's up. I got a brother who about to be turning 24 this year.
Nice.
Yeah, that's cool, man. Yeah, the third question was simple, man. Nothing complicated.
Oh, that was it. Oh, nice. All right.
Yeah, that was it. Yeah, I do stuff
All
like
right.
that,
My
man.
final question.
Uh-huh.
Hey, simplicity is underrated. I'll say that. My last question for you is, what advice do you have regarding sexuality and relationships? Because people still don't get that. It's changing, the old
Right,
rules.
right.
I know you're trying to court people. I know you so desperately want this chivalry and old stuff back, but, and I think it's beautiful too, but there's still newer standards to sexuality, being that we're doing new things. How do you express that in your day-to-day life? How do you respect the boundaries between people's sexual privacy, and how do you express that as people are stepping into radical new parts of themselves, as this to change inevitably
That is a
some
good
way or the
question.
other?
That's a good question, man, because I, sexuality in this world today is like most things in this world today. It's been made complex. It's been made complex. I mean, I don't step on nobody as far as what they want to do, because we have free will. But when you think about the way that we were made, it's just certain things. To me, certain things that I do, the way I live my life, I go by the naturalest way as possible. Which I know the most natural way, the way we were made. You know what I'm saying, was for men to reproduce with women, for men to love women, and women to love men, and things like that. But I say you gotta know what you like. You gotta know what you like. You know what I'm saying? Like, I like good, beautiful looking women. You know what I'm saying? I know what I like. You know what I'm saying? But we gotta know what we like. I feel like a lot of the problems come from us not knowing what we like. And not only that, I feel like
True that.
more problems come from us getting into relationships, and then like we get hurt. Somebody somebody gets hurt. And we don't take that time to heal like we need to, and we think we heal, because we met this cool, exciting person and all that, and we try to go into that relationship with this same pain on our back, and we carry it on, pass it on to the next person. So I mean, we got to stop doing that, y'all. We got to be more patient and really heal ourselves before we go on to the next relationship, because I find that I'm
Mhm.
seeing a lot of people say, "I thought I was over that." I thought I was over that. But we got to give ourselves realistic time, man. I mean, it takes time when you let somebody in. It really takes time, to recover from it. And you don't want to fake that. That's something that you don't want to fake. You want
Yeah.
to be real with yourself when it comes to your heart, because that's very sacred and sensitive. But I mean, people people could do what they people are doing what they want to do. I mean, we see that it is changing, like you said. I have a problem. What I do have a problem with it is the way it's affecting the children and
Oh
how
yeah.
much it's pushed on the children. Because what it was maybe last month, within the last month or so, like that, I believe in CPS, excuse me, Chicago Public School Systems passed. Uh, they're teaching what it is that they're going to be doing if they're not doing it already. Is teaching the kindergartners about anal sex and how to use vaginal condoms and turn the vaginal condoms into anal condoms for, and teaching little boys about anal sex. Now that's a problem because I mean I was homeschooled in 7th grade. That 1 year of homeschool changed my life. That 1 year of homeschool did so much for me. You know what I'm saying? It's just I'm just very thankful that I was taken out of school because from what I'm seeing is in this world, in this world of duality, you have to step in and step out to some extent. And when it comes to sexuality, I don't feel like a person have to step into homosexuality and step out of it to know that it wasn't right. Because if we look at the way we're made, because I see a lot of people do that. I met a lot of people. They say they used to do that. I'm like, wow, it really shocked me that so many people did that, but they stepped in and stepped out, but we don't have to literally step in it. You know what I'm saying? It's like we walking, right? And I say, hey Michael, there's some shit on the ground. you don't step, I'll be like, whoa, you didn't step in it. You know what I'm saying? You
And
stepped out of it, but
to harp on it, to harp on that point and compliment it, I agree. It's like the other guest that I had, he was talking about how he wasn't in a rush to, come out the closet because straight kids don't have to be like, I'm straight. You know what I mean? Like, I like how you say it, because a lot of people get pushed into homosexuality instead of them naturally and organically coming to that identity themselves. I really agree with that. Yeah.
I mean,
it should be more natural and organic.
It's something, man, that I just don't think it should be pushed on other people. That's my thing. It's like you could do what you want to do behind closed doors. I feel like people shouldn't be harmed behind it. Like there's a lot of people who really hate homosexuality, but we shouldn't be hating in the first place because we should know that whatever you send out, you get back. So we shouldn't be wishing death upon
Exactly.
anybody. We shouldn't be hating on anybody. We should just do the best to better ourselves. Because at the end of the day, that's that person's reality. If I'm in an elevator and a person, I see a man, I see he's with another man. That's his reality. You know what I'm saying? That's not affecting me right now. That's not making me question who I am in any way, or it's not making me lesser than I am. It's just like I see it. I know what type of world we in. I don't let it trip me out. We got to be stronger mentally, y'all. We can't be letting every damn thing trip us out. I mean, we've been seeing this stuff for a while now. So it's not like this stuff is new. Homosexuality is not new. Drugs is not new. Murder is not new. We should not be letting these things trip us out because I feel like a lot of people are liking to be the victim, that they actually enjoying this, which is kind of is kind of crazy to me. People seem to enjoy a lot of this pain. That is disturbing. We shouldn't be enjoying pain so much. We should enjoy more pleasure than we do pain. So, man, yeah.
I'm so glad you brought that up because that mirrors a lot of my World War Z talk. A lot of people who fight for the dark, they feed off of pain. They literally feed off of depression. Like they feel good feeling powerless because they don't have to have responsibility over their consciousness. And then I also like how you mentioned about teaching 5-year-olds about anal sex. I think that is very disturbing. This is the reason why I'm going to homeschool my children if I ever have it, just because of how, if this information is out there, so it's good that these little kids get a formal education, but still, like to like, I don't know. I grew up not knowing about sex until I was like in my teen years. My little kids told me I need to get out more. So my mom purposely raised me this way so I wouldn't be that versed in the world. I mean, I feel like it has its cons and its pros, but yeah, I totally resonate with you on that, man. But to close off before we end, Is there any last thing to say? If anyone would like to reach you, do you offer any readings or services? If they wanted to get in touch to talk with you, how can they do so?
Oh yeah, I'm glad you asked
And
that.
also, and finally, after you answer that, also, what is the final message you have for people who want to speak their truth and be themselves? What's your final message?
All right. Okay, cool. Well, hey, since we're gonna be heading out soon, I told my mom I'm gonna shout out. So I shout out my mom, shout out my sister, shout out my family, shout out everybody who support me, shout out whoever recommended me on this show, because I don't know who it is, but I appreciate you. And you know what I'm saying? It's been a good show. What I would like to leave, well, let me answer this first. The way you can contact me at rod13ka@gmail.com. You can hit me up on Twitter, Facebook, or Instagram. It's all at Robbie Ka. And YouTube, RABKA, space B space KA, Robbie Ka. And yeah, I mean, it's been a pleasure. And the last thing I would like to leave people with is accept your own and be yourself. Accept your own and be yourself. Because if you are accepting your own, then that means you're around people who has a like mind. You know, if you're accepting your own, you're around people who has a like mind. That doesn't necessarily mean color or anything like that. Because at this point, you know, everybody kind of the same right now. Everybody fucked up, if you ask me. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So
that's so true.
Yeah, I mean, so it's like, why are we pointing fingers about that stuff? You know, everybody messed up. So I'll just say accept your own, be yourself. If it's the people who you can build with, that the universe is sending them there for you for whatever reason, and if it's information that is reaching your ears, it's for a reason. So pay attention to the signs that the universe is giving everybody. Don't ever be afraid about anything. And yeah, we have a radio show. We actually just did one yesterday because we do High Vibrations Radio every Sunday at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. And my mom and my sister do their radio, the Empress Hour, every Wednesday at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. Excuse me, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. blogtalkradio.com. So yeah, man, it's been cool. Thank you for having me on. I was excited about this all day, man. I was like doing yoga and sitting in the sun. I was like, yeah, I was an hour early. I got on my computer looking for the link. I'm like, oh snap, I'm gonna wait.
That's what it do, bro. Thanks to Whitney. She's the person who suggested you. And just like she did, make sure you go to these people's channels and suggest a request so that when I go, they already know it's good. Someone did that with Cam Virgo. So whoever suggested him, he's definitely locked in. And thank you once again, Robbie. I'm going to place the description link to your channel in my description link box below, and I'll see y'all next week. Peace.
All right.